Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my dear students. How are you? Everything okay? All is good. Here is Pakistan School Salala, grade 4, subject General Science. My dear students, now it's unit 8 and that is sound. My dear students, here is our learning outcomes, unit 8, sound. So my dear students, we would be able to learn this chapter: what is sound, how is sound produced, how and where sound travel. So my dear students, these are our learning outcomes. We would have acquired a comprehensive knowledge about these topics: that what is sound, how is sound produced, how and where sound travel, loud and soft sound, etc. So my dear students, these are our learning outcomes. Yes, my dear students, here unit 8, sound. What is sound, my dear students? How is it produced? So my dear students, sound is the form of energy. My dear students, we hear many sounds all around us. For example, the chirping of the birds, the creaking of a door, the beating of the drum, etc. All things which make a sound have one thing in common. What is that, my dear students? What is that one thing in common? By chirping of birds, the creaking of door, the beating of drum. Think, my dear students. Yes, the shaking, or you can say vibration. They all shake. So my dear students, sound is the form of energy. My dear students, here the sound is the form of energy. So my dear students, there are different sound sources. You can see here in the diagram, my dear students, there is the guitar, sound of the guitar. We can produce the sound from the speaker. So speaker is a big source of sound. Here is the microphone, apple, the tuning fork, and the horn. And horn can produce a loud sound. My dear student, you use different horns. We also use different horns in our vehicles, truck, buses, etc. And we can also hear the sound. So my dear students, we can hear the sound, we can also produce the sound. So my dear students, sound is the form of energy. Yes, my dear students, what is sound? The sound is the form of energy. And how is sound produced? There are different sources of sound. My dear students, our ears can detect sound coming from different sources. You can see different sources around you in your surrounding. My dear students, you can see here the sound coming from the traffic and the sound coming from the operation of the machines. When the machine runs, it produces a lot of sound. My dear students, you can also hear the sound from the television and radio as well. So there are more than these sources of sound that the sound can produce, also by the chirping of the birds and other sources by the beating of drum and guitar as well. My dear students, yes, sound is a form of energy, and how sound is produced. There are different sources of sound, and sound are made when something vibrates. So, my dear students, a sound vibrates, make tiny particle of the air bump into each other. So, my dear students, actually the vibration, or you can say to and fro motion. Vibration means to and fro motion of the object produce sound, and vibration produces sounds. My dear students, the sound vibration, or you can say shaking process, make tiny particle of the air bump into each other, and when this happens, the particles are first pressed together and produce sound by the vibration, and vibration causes by to and fro motion of the object. So, my dear students, sound are made when something vibrate, or you can say sound are made when something shake. My dear students, how are sounds produced? The sound are made when something vibrate. My dear student, a sound vibration make tiny particles of the air bump into each other. My dear students, when this happens, the particles are first pressed together and then they spread apart, or you can say expand again. As in the case of speaker, you can see here, my dear students, speaker move to and fro motion, or you can say shaking process or vibrations. So, my dear students, each particles passes its energy to the particles next to it. In this way, the vibration are passed from molecule to molecule. We call this movement a sound wave. So, my dear students, you can see here the piano and the different machines, the sound coming from the different machines, and by playing the piano and speaker, by the vibration of the speaker, they all produce sounds. So, my dear students, when this happens, the particle of sound, or you can say the molecules, are first pressed together in the air and then they spread apart, and in this way the migration of energy take place from one molecule to another molecule. In this way, we call this movement of energy, or you can say this is sound wave. We call this movement a sound wave. Yes, my dear students, how is sound produced and what are vibrating objects? So, my dear students, all musical instruments have vibrating object to produce sound. My dear students, you can see here the different type of instrument, or you can say musical instrument, that vibrate and produce sound. As in the case of guitar, you can say here are guitar, clarinet and drum beating. So, my dear students, in guitar, the sound from vibrating string produced and we can hear it. My dear students, so this sound is produced by striking of strings. In the next, my dear students, there is clarinet. Different type of clarinet are there, and they all produce sound by wind and brass pipes. My dear students, these all sound produce, and the molecule of the sound spread apart, or you can see expand. So each particle of the sound molecules passes its energy to the particles next to it. So in this way, vibration are passed from molecule to molecule. In the next, my dear students, the beating of the drum. So my dear students, by striking the string of guitar and by blowing the wind through the clarinet and by beating the drum, all produce sounds, and a sound vibration make tiny particles of air bump into each other. And when this happens, my dear students, the particles are first pressed together and then they produce sound, and they spread apart, or you can say expand again. Each particle passes its energy to the particle next to it. So my dear students, in this way vibration are passed from molecule to molecule of all these musical instruments, and we call this movement a sound wave. So in this way we can hear all these musical instruments by vibration, or you can say shaking of the string, blowing of the wind and brass through the clarinet, and beating the drum.